That's what happened. Okay. Okay. Now we know for next time.
It's Thursday. You know what time it is. Time for the hottest new broadcast on wrestling on the planet. Beyond the Barricade with your host, Dollar Bill, the Cleaner, and the Brain. Let's get started. Gentlemen, we
Yes.
have a big card coming up tomorrow. Ring of Honor,
Hmm.
Super Card of Honor. We have some epic, epic matches on that card.
Yes, my very favorite event of the entire weekend.
Oh yeah. Ring of Honor. That's always where it's at. And Supercard of Honor pulls out all the best
Yes,
stops.
yes. Being able to attend G1 Supercard when WrestleMania was here last, within the New York area, and that was a very special night. So I know tomorrow will be more the same.
Indeed.
Indeed.
All right, gentlemen, we had originally had 7 matches announced for the show, but last night, right after Dynamite, an 8th match was added to the card. We'll get into that in a minute. Let's start with the Tag Team Championship. Reach for the Sky ladder match for the vacant ROH World Tag Team Championships. We got Lucha Brothers versus Top Flight, The Kingdom, Aussie Open, and LFI.
La Fashion Inconvenable. I like that. I like
Yes,
that.
yes. It's because it's Triple A's. They're trying to like not get sued by CMLL because it's
Ah,
the Los Ignobles faction. Although I would probably contest it's more popular right now in Japan with the Los Ignobles de Japón, which was originally an offshoot, but it became more famous than the original.
it happens, man.
Yes, so this is La Faction Ignoble was actually a Ring of Honor stable during the
Mm.
Sinclair days, and then it morphed because the guys would also work AAA. They were let go from CMLL, so they started to work for AAA, and
Oh
this
yeah.
this this name was the way to get around to still be the same stable, but to use a new name. So in
Clever.
terms of the Reach for the Sky ladder match, it's in honor of Jay Briscoe, because the Briscoes were very famous for ladder matches during their time in Ring of Honor.
Hall of
So to
Fames.
have a ladder match in his honor, in Jay Briscoe's honor, it seems only right. So there's two teams who I'm gonna call out in terms of who do I want to win and who do I think is going to win. Who do I want to win is the Kingdom with Mike Bennett and Matt. He is I and I am him and I'm Matt Taven. Um, I love Matt Taven. He was one of the best stars of Ring of Honor in these last couple of years under the Sinclair broadcasting regime. He did so much. I saw him take the worst outside dive I've ever seen in like forever. It was him and I believe Dalton Castle at Final Battle 2018. I mean, he did his normal outside dive, but he did it on the wrong side and he smashed his face in the metal barricade. And especially because it's Ring of
Ouch.
Honor. It's Ring of Honor, so they had the metal like barricade covers.
Yeah.
So it was brutal. The whole building thought he was knocked out and they were gonna stop
I
the
would have thought
match.
so too.
Oh yeah.
Thankfully, everything was fine. He was able to come back and finish the match. So who do I want to win? The Kingdom. Who do I think is going to win? I think it's going to be Aussie Open because Aussie Open over the last year has been really killing it in New Japan Strong. They've been really becoming known as the next big tag team in professional wrestling, a very underrated tag team. So I think this is going to be their shining moment within an American promotion. So I believe Aussie Open is going to win, but I would like to see the Kingdom win.
All right, Dollar Bill, your thoughts?
Hmm. If Osteop is a rising star, because I remember hearing briefly about they were supposedly like rivaling FTR in a lot of ways.
They did.
Style.
They actually had a very good match against FTR
Mm.
at New Japan Royal Quest back in it was either late September or early October. But they had a
Uh,
beautiful match versus FTR.
and that's a good guide stick, we could say.
Yeah, the indicator.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and considering that this is for not just simply for a tag team, but this is also something that's chosen kind of like to continue on like the legacy that the Briscoes had laid out. You want a really, really strong tag team that can draw and put on good matches.
Yes.
So I could and stay around. So is the Aussie Open is definitely ROH contract.
Um, they're actually, I believe they're actually uncontracted as of right now. They're free agents because I believe their deals with New Japan had expired.
I
Although
want
they are still working dates, they're what we call freelance.
I
So they're working
wonder.
for everybody as of right now.
Hmm.
I think the only company they're not going to work for as a freelance is WWE because they don't like freelancers.
Yeah, we're not gonna count
Yeah.
WWE in this case.
Yeah, so
No,
Yeah.
like
yeah,
you're gonna see Aussie Open, Ring of Honor, you're gonna see him in New Japan, New Japan Strong, you're gonna see him in Impact, you're gonna see him all over the place as of right now. But then
AEW.
again, yeah, then again, AEW is very as long as you're keeping up with Tony Khan, you are going to be allowed to take outside dates, especially if
Mm.
you're lower on the card. You're going to be allowed to take outside dates. So I could see them eventually getting AEW/ROH contracts, but as of right now, they are currently free agents.
This excuse me. And promise the title, they win it. This might have them be more ROH, contract bound.
Yeah,
When you think about it.
I could see them be more ROH.
Yeah. Because I was actually
I could
thinking of team. Oh, sorry, your turn.
I could actually see them signing an ROH contract because, be honest with you, the ROH tag team division isn't as strong as it used to be.
Mm,
Yes,
So
yeah.
yes, because well,
they need to bring a few more teams in. They need to beef up the roster for the
yeah.
tag team division and to bring in a team like Aussie Open would be a good move for ROH and to bolster the uh, tag team division and put the tag team titles on a new team. That's going to make the other teams hungry and want to fight for their spots.
Mhm.
However, I'm going to have to go with probably my choice is going to be the Lucha Brothers.
Mm.
They have been having some outstanding matches lately. They've been absolutely killing things, especially with the guys who are coming back from injury. They're coming back stronger than ever, and I think they're going to be the sleepers in this tag team match.
Considering how much charisma Lucha Brothers have with the whole crowd, I mean, they can get them on their side real fast.
Yes,
You
indeed.
know, you do see them as very strong contenders, especially with holding this title. So
Yes,
probably the top two would probably go with I mean, we got Aussie Open, we got the Kingdom, we got Lucha Bros, probably the three at the top, the top of that list that probably have the
yes.
highest chances. Because much,
I would actually bring up the point that if they are going to lean heavily into the tribute side, that might actually lean more in favor to the Kingdom because the Kingdom, especially in 2015, had a bunch of, they have a very big, deep history with the Briscoes.
mm,
2015, that was a very big tag feud in the tag team division, especially with some matches, even with it was the Briscoes and ODB versus the Bennett or Kingdom with Maria Kanellis. And there was even Red Dragon of Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly with Shayna Baszler before she signed with WWE.
Hmm.
And they
Yes,
had
I remember that.
yeah, so they had those style of matches. And then even at Final Battle 2021, um the match that set up the FTR feud. It was the Briscoes and the Kingdom. So if this does lean into a heavy Jay Briscoe memorial match, I do see the Kingdom actually coming out as the favorites because there's very few teams still around today that have as much history with the Briscoes as the Kingdom does.
I definitely can't argue
Good
that point.
call.
All right, let's go, guys. Next match. And I'm going to call this a squash match for the
I don't
six-man tag match.
I don't think it's gonna be a squash, but there's nothing that tells me that the Embassy will lose the belts.
I doubt it
I,
too.
yeah, I feel like the Embassy is going to win, but since it's a pay-per-view and considering their opponents, I do believe it's not going to be entirely a squash match.
A
I mean,
show, yes, but I don't. We're pretty much leaning at Embassy, probably like about 90% chance of winning.
I
Yeah,
would say 99%
exactly.
chance.
I'm being generous.
This might be my only lock of the entire show.
Yeah,
Like my lock pick would be this.
yeah,
I
definitely,
agree.
because you got the embassy who constantly works together against three guys who are being thrown together as a trios match.
Yes.
It's just doesn't work, you know?
Yeah.
Nah,
I mean,
It's very
maybe,
hard to take three individual wrestlers, put
yeah.
them together as a tag team and expect them to become a cohesive unit in such a short time and have a tag team title match.
If it
nah.
was AR Fox and Top Flight, it could
Ooh,
that would change
That
the
would have been
game
a
because
that would have
ooh,
been a much better combination.
yes, because they do have history together.
Yes, they do.
But
They
this
have plenty
is
of history together. They've worked together number of
yes,
times, especially over the last few weeks.
yes.
And
AR Fox and Blake Christian like do have one-on-one history. They don't really have much tag team history,
yeah.
and
no,
and especially with Metalik, who is just being who has been thrown in there. So there might be a slip up. I feel like that could be the finish of the match is that they have a
Yep.
miscommunication and the Embassy takes advantage of it.
Pretty much.
absolutely.
Pretty
And don't
much.
forget about Prince Nana on the outside.
Running
He'll get
around.
involved somewhere.
Yes.
He'll get involved somewhere along the
Oh
line.
yeah. Oh,
Yes.
no doubt.
And you're gonna always hear him chirp about it.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. He's a talker.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Third match on the card. I'm gonna skip for a minute because I want to save
Yeah.
that for last. Let's go with the women's championship match. Athena versus Sakazaki.
Yes, Yuka Sakazaki is a very popular wrestler for the Tokyo Joshi Pro. She is considered one of the better competitors right now in Japan. Even with that, she is signed with the AEW, but she doesn't appear often in AEW. She does come over eventually, but most of her contract dates are currently with Tokyo Joshi Pro. So that is why I believe Athena is going to come out on top, but this is going to be a very, very good match.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, Vinny, because the just for the factor that Athena is more well known in the United States. She's very popular in the United States, and she is a very quick, very agile, and very powerful female wrestler. She can
Yeah.
strike hard, she can strike fast, and she can strike from up above, and you
Mhm.
never know where it's going to come from.
Yes, and that Eclipse is a wonderful move.
Oh,
Wonderful move.
absolutely.
I
I love
consider
it.
it like the mix of a corkscrew drop kick and or corkscrew moonsault with a stunner. It's beautiful.
It
I
is.
remember first seeing that move and I was just my heart just said, oh
Yeah,
yes.
because it's just the way that she does that flip in the air and is able to perfectly pinpoint where her opponent is to finish off the stunner. That's just it. That's precision that
Yes,
very few wrestlers can have, but Athena has it.
that
Oh yeah.
move is one of the very few moves that will set your heart aflutter when you see it live.
Yes, yes.
And I hope one
Oh.
day I'm lucky enough to see it live.
I've been able to see it live.
I'm sure you
It's
have.
insane. Yeah.
So, All right. Pure Championship. Wheeler Yuta versus Shibata.
Does
Um,
he retain or does he lose? Thank God.
I
I'm definitely
believe,
leaning more towards Wheeler winning.
yeah, because Katsuri Shibata, as much as we love him and as much as that pure title is destined for him, there's nobody, when you think of the Ring of Honor pure title, it's meant for the most pure technical wrestler out there. And there's nobody that you could think of that's more fitting of that role than Katsuri Shibata. Maybe a Daniel Bryan or Brian Danielson, maybe a Jonathan Gresham, but Katsuri Shibata is up there. But unfortunately, the thing is, he's only wrestled a handful of times since his brain injury. Most of them actually have been for the AEW brand because of Katsuri Shibata's um, being located in the United States. He is currently the head trainer at the the New Japan LA Dojo. So he's here in the United States. But then again, he does, like I said, he's only wrestled a handful of matches since his brain injury that almost took his life back in
Yeah.
2017.
Right.
So
So
if you
he's,
ask me, the odds are heavily in favor of Wheeler Unit retaining.
and I think not just from the ring rust perspective for Shibata.
Oh, it's not a ring rust issue. It's I mean, I'm looking at it more of a behind the curtain thing that he's not going to be wrestling every almost every week that Yuya is. So it's
Yeah.
not a ring rust. He's as we saw last year at Forbidden Door against Orange Cassidy. Oh no, it was a couple weeks after Forbidden Door. He had a match against Orange Cassidy. That was just such a beautiful match.
Agreed. But you got to be having constant matches to be
Yes.
sharp enough to be on your game all the time. And
Yes.
he
And
hasn't had
Wheeler,
enough matches, whereas Wheeler Yuta is in the ring constantly.
yes.
He's he's on AEW, he's on Ring of Honor, he's defending the Pure Championship,
Yes.
he's having his matches, and he's representing the championship well.
Yes, and he's a very up and comer.
Yeah,
He's going to be somebody that was going to carry this business within the next 10 years.
he's already starting to put it on his shoulders and take it with him.
Yes,
And I
especially
like
that
that.
Ring of Honor Pure title. Yeah.
Yes, that's helping that factor.
Yes.
All right, let's go with the Daniel Garcia match.
Okay.
Daniel Garcia versus the Ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi. That is a
Yes.
match that A is going to be an absolutely beautiful match, and
Yes.
B, one that you never ever expected to see.
Yes. Because
Hmm.
Daniel Garcia, if there is one young wrestler, when you think of the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, there's one young wrestler, you think of Daniel Garcia. When he won it, I was so happy because, like, oh my God, this is like literally built for him. And he's been killing it over the last year. So to have a match against somebody like Hiroshi Tanahashi, it's impossible to have a bad match with him. And
Exactly.
but if you
Right.
have a match with him, that means you've made it. Your name. And
Yeah.
most likely, especially if it's a foreign talent, most likely he requested to fight you. So this is going to be a very good thing for Daniel Garcia.
It's going to be a very
Um,
big test for his skills and his
yes,
expertise.
yes. I mean, isn't far as prediction, I would not be surprised if something happens to Daniel Garcia getting the surprise victory. But I think that Tanahashi's his experience is going to shine through.
I probably go definitely more with Tanahashi as well. So I think Garcia is gonna put this is more of a demonstration match with Garcia to show what he can do, not
Yes,
being held back by gimmicks or anything or any other storylines. Just let me
yes.
wrestle.
Yeah.
Just let me wrestle.
To finally have a match against such a huge name like Tanahashi,
I think
because
that's Tanahashi. I'm sorry.
there's nobody bigger in Japanese wrestling in the past 10 years. Okay, maybe Okada. Oh, Tanahashi and Okada have brought New Japan Pro Wrestling to such incredible heights over the last 10 years. Some people even say that Tanahashi saved New Japan Pro Wrestling from bankruptcy.
I believe
So,
that.
so there's like to have a match against him, a one-on-one match, such a huge, incredible honor.
Yeah, definitely.
He
Pardon
apparently
the
has a
pun.
he apparently has a book out too.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe he actually does. He has a movie too. It came out within the last couple of years called My Dad's a Wrestler. Or
Mm.
it's either My Dad's a Wrestler or My Dad's a Heel Wrestler. And
Ah,
I believe it's on New Japan Pro Wrestling World subbed. So if you're an international, or when I say international, I mean international to Japan. So if you're a foreigner to Japan, most likely you do have My Dad is a Heel Wrestler subbed on New Japan World.
yeah. And apparently, one last thing, he was also influential in the Tekken 7 fighting game, which I didn't realize.
Yes, I believe he does have one character based off of him. I
Lars.
forget. Lars, okay. Because I
Yeah.
know the only one I know specifically is King is based off of, or at least, has a alternate costume for Okada.
With this finisher,
Yes, with the finisher.
which Tekken 8, it's now just a regular move.
Although, if we want to talk about video games, if you ever play the Yakuza series, they're all in it. Okada, Tanahashi,
Yes.
Naito, and
Hmm.
Yano.
I have them all.
Yes, me too.
Nice.
It's
Nice.
beautiful.
All right, gentlemen, we have a AAA match on the Ring of Honor card as well.
Yes.
Yes,
Vikingo versus Commander.
yes. This is going to be a wonderful match. It's going to be a very excellent showcase for legitimate lucha libre wrestling. And you know what? This is a little weird because if you've been following, like me, if you've been following the Ring of Honor promotion over the last 5, 6 years, not only did they strengthen their relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling, but they've also had a mutual partnership with New Japan Wrestling and with CMLL.
Mhm.
This is the oldest promotion in Mexico, and they've had a triple partnership, including with which was G1 SUPERCARD. G1 SUPERCARD was not just New Japan and Ring of Honor, but it also had some representation from CMLL as well. And so that seeing that history with Ring of Honor, it's kind of weird to see now. Here we are in 2023, and the AAA Mega Championship is being defended on a Ring of Honor show. And it's because the AAA Mega Championship is the most popular and the biggest prize in Mexican wrestling. So to see it on a Ring of Honor show with their history with CMLL, it is kind of weird. But you're gonna see two of the greatest wrestlers today, especially the face of Lucha Libre in El Hijo de Vikingo, who do who I expect to come out the victor and retain his championship.
I'm have to agree after seeing what we saw with him last week. And I'm going to say this about the match. The crowd is going to have cricks in their neck from watching like this because the guys are going to be flying all over the damn place.
Yep,
The
Tennis.
luchadors, no. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be like a tennis match. Ding, ding, ding,
yep,
ding, ding. Oh, wait. Oh, we got a lob. Oh,
yep,
we got another lob. But
Or do it
people's
like this.
necks are going to be, yeah.
yep, 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 yep.
They're not going to be able to move their phones fast enough to keep up with these guys.
Yeah.
And
And they're
having seen luchadors up close and personal and we've worked with them, Vinny's seen them,
yes,
Dollar Bill's seen them. They are crazy, and they are crazy quick, and they are
yes,
stupid strong.
yes. And sometimes with these guys, man, the precision that sometimes that the American high flying style and lucha libre, that's one of the things that are different is that lucha libre is very precise with their moves. They
Absolutely.
know when to pull it out and how to pull it out.
Exactly.
So you're gonna see a hell of a lucha libre match come
Yes,
tomorrow night.
indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, gentlemen. Singles match for the ROH World Championship. We have Claudio Castagnoli against Eddie Kingston.
Yes. 15 years in the making. So right
Yeah.
now, if you go check out Ring of Honor's YouTube page, you will see a video hyping the Ring of Honor World Title match between Claudio Castagnoli versus Eddie Kingston, and it's going to highlight a whole lot of their history in the Chikara promotion because they have a very big feud, one of the biggest feuds in the history of Chikara, and it was a very, very hard-hitting feud about respect.
Yes, it was. I
And
remember that.
the last match that they had, they were supposed to have, I believe, a fourth match, but after the third match, where Claudio just beat the ever-loving crap out of Eddie, and even after the match, continued to beat the ever-loving crap out of Eddie in Queens, New York, in
Mhm.
Eddie's hometown.
Yeah, that right
And
there is a sign of such disrespect to do that in front of the guy's
yes,
hometown crowd.
yes. And when it came time for Claudio to show the respect and to do the favors for Eddie, he ran to WWE.
Right.
So Eddie has been sitting on this for almost 15 years now, and this is his shot to finally get that respect back.
Yes.
And my, if I had my entire life's fortune of $300 right here in front of me on a betting table, I would be all in on Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, I'm definitely going all in with Eddie Kingston myself.
Yeah.
Having known Eddie for God, almost 20 years now, uh, since I started going to Jersey All Pro shows and Ring of Honor shows and GCW and ICW,
Yes,
and knowing him all these years and knowing how crazy the man is,
yes,
he is going to lay an absolute unequivocal beatdown on Claudio.
Yeah,
yes,
this isn't going to be a match. This is just pretty much going to be a straight up fight.
but
Yeah,
yes,
this is going to be one of the ugliest fights you have
yes.
ever seen. And
If
Claudio is going to get the beating that he so rightly deserves.
yes.
And it's been 15 years in the boiling.
And I saw,
It's
well,
not even in the making anymore. It's in the boiling.
yes, I was able to attend AEW's Full Gear pay-per-view in Newark last November.
Mm.
And the pre-show match was Eddie Kingston finally getting his dream match against Jun Akiyama, who is the prodigy of Kenta Kobashi and Mitsuharu Misawa
Hmm.
in Pro Wrestling Noah in All Japan.
Oof.
I
So
remember Akiyama way
It's
back.
thick
yes, and
match.
Eddie Kingston was finally able to get his dream match, one-on-one versus Jun Akiyama, and he was in tears. But it was a hard-hitting match. It was
Yes,
a
it
match
was.
that echoed All Japan, the 90s of All Japan, and how it took over professional wrestling.
Yeah,
So to see
definitely.
Eddie Kingston do something like that against somebody that he highly respects and holds such to a high honor, I could only imagine what he would do to Claudio, who he thinks of the exact opposite way, who
Yeah, who
has
he absolutely despises.
despises. Yes. So to see I can only imagine what Eddie Kingston is going to do, and I hope he does all of it to finally become to win a world championship as highly prestigious as the Ring of Honor World Championship.
Yeah,
Definitely.
having known Eddie as long as we all have, having seen him in Jersey All Pro, in Chikara,
Hmm.
in GCW, ICW, and AEW, to see him finally win a major world championship will absolutely be perfect.
Yes.
And
But
there's nobody in this business that deserves it more right now.
yes, nobody.
All right, gentlemen, we have one more match to talk about.
Save the best for
The
last.
absolutely save the most sentimental and the most emotional match for last.
Yeah.
Singles match for the Ring of Honor World Television title. Samoa Joe, the king of television, against that boy, Mark Briscoe.
Damn boy. Yep.
That
Damn
boy.
boy.
Um,
Well, we have to go
Sioux
that
City.
boy because he's solo right now,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Well, we could just call him the Suffolk County Chicken. Because yeah, that's actually his handle on Twitter. So this is a match that earlier today I said the Embassy match was a lock. This
Yeah,
match is probably my most on lock. I could see it going either way.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if I could pick who to win because that's how split I am. Because
yeah,
I could see Ring of Honor, I could see Mark Briscoe not trying to play that sentimental value. And I could absolutely see him wanting to do the favors to Samoa Joe, but then I could absolutely see it going the other way and having this moment for Mark Briscoe. Because if you follow Ring of Honor, you would know that Mark Briscoe, as a singles wrestler, does not have the success that his brother had as a singles wrestler. Brother
agreed.
was a multi-time world champion. Unfortunately, Jay or Mark, he is, I believe, like 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 in the TV title matches.
Mhm.
He is 0-1 against his brother for the Ring of Honor World title. So,
Yes. Yeah,
so
his singles career has not been the most illustrious.
yes,
Yeah.
However, he has been a phenomenal tag team match
yes, he's a
participant.
13-time tag team champion with his
Yeah.
brother in Ring of Honor. I know he has one in Impact. They have one IWGP World Heavyweight title reign. So they've won tag team gold. Hell, they're the first never open weight 6-man champions.
Hmm.
They won the first ever open weight 6-man titles with Toru Yano. So as a unit wrestler, he's very good. But under in singles competition, he does not have the same repertoire. So I
Right.
could absolutely see this going both ways.
I agree. But sentimentally, I think Ring of Honor finally realizes that Mark Briscoe has paid his dues to the company. He's paid blood, sweat, and tears and loyalty to the company. I believe they're going to do the honor to Mark, give him the chance to run as a singles champion,
Yeah,
and also to carry on the Briscoe legacy as singles champions because Jay did so much as a singles
yeah,
champion himself. And
yeah.
even though Jay
Unfortunately,
Briscoe is not with us anymore,
no.
he is still going to be a heavy, heavy presence at this show.
Yes,
There's going to be signs, there's going to be t-shirts, there's going to be people chanting his
yes.
name.
Because this is going to be the first show that Jay is not going to be a part of the roster for.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Um,
raised enough.
because even though he's had injuries that kept him off the show, you
He's been a
know,
part of the roster.
he's been a part of the roster. Even when they had chances to go to WWE, to go to other companies,
Yep. They
they've
stayed with Ring
always
of Honor.
stayed loyal to Ring of Honor. And the same way as Sting was the standard bearer, gatekeeper of WCW, the same way AJ Styles was seen as the standard bearer, the gatekeeper of TNA. Same way Undertaker was seen as the standard bearer and the gatekeeper of WWE. I always considered Jay Briscoe that person in that role in Ring of Honor because if you wanted to
Absolutely.
make a name for
Yep.
yourself in Ring of Honor, you wanted to prove yourself in Ring of Honor, you go out and you have a 5-star classic with Jay Briscoe.
Yes. And if you're a
Oh yeah.
tag team and you want to make your name and reputation in Ring of Honor,
You go
the
face the
only
Briscoes.
doorway you could go through was the Briscoes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah.
right.
And
So it
God rest Jay's soul.
yes,
We love him, we miss him,
we miss him dearly.
but he's going to be in Mark's corner without a doubt.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So
He's going to be haunting Samoa Joe till the night till the time that
to
bell
the end.
rings.
Yep.
Just watch the crowd. Watch all the tributes are gonna
Yep.
have
Oh
for him.
yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
So we got about a minute 30 left. Any last thoughts? Any specific shows you're looking forward to this weekend? Because we have a weekend full of wrestling.
First off, let's give the people at home again the announce when and where they can watch Ring of Honor,
Uh,
Supercard of Honor.
yes, Supercard of Honor. It's gonna be on for those in America. It's gonna be on BR Live and standard pay-per-view. It should be on Fight TV for international viewers. I
And,
believe it's going to be $40.
and what time?
I believe bell time is at 8 o'clock. Pre-show is probably going to start around 7.
Okay. All
All
right,
right.
cool.
All right, gentlemen. To all the wrestlers who are competing this weekend, good luck. Be safe. Make sure you go home to your families. To the fans,
Yes.
enjoy the shows. To all our listeners, enjoy yourselves. Dollar Bill, the cleaner, the brain. We out.
We out.